Yeah, look at there. Ring perch. First one I caught this year. I've caught some decent ones in here. Just running the bank here, guys. They're trying to spawn. Ain't he pretty? Look at that orange on him. Just running the bank, trying to find someone that are spawning. I know that they're on the bank shallow. I fished yesterday evening from the bank in a spot. I didn't film it. I need to go back and do it again maybe tomorrow and film it. And I caught 20 just from the bank. So, and I was fishing close to the bank, just on some cover and a dock. So I know that they have pulled up shallow. It's just hard to get them to bite sometimes when they're spawning right there in the spawn. I've been going through here, just stone at the bank, and I just happened to see this 2 fish on the bottom, and they was moving slowly, and I said, that's got to be a crappie. And I threw, yeah, that's a good one. Bang. Woo. So I threw at it, and I'm fishing with the colors I've been playing with. I'd say she done laid most of her eggs. That's a good fish, guys. All right, guys. Been playing with my new scale. I told you, I think I said in the video, I'm gonna take them home and play with them. I did. 112. All right, guys, you know what? I didn't show y'all me releasing that fish. I weighed him, he weighed 112. I showed you that. And I cut my camera off and dropped the fish back. I went, duh. I'll tell you guys, it's one of those days where you got to cover a lot of water. Look around, there's fish are scattered. Just during the spawn, bait fell out of his mouth. That's the Chaos Blue Moon color. He's about 11 inches. I got my bumper board though. I just haven't stopped and played with it yet. The last one was 15 inches, the bigger fish. But I've thrown out a lot of fish, and I know a lot of y'all probably fishing the spawn too, so you know what I'm talking about. I'm not seeing fish piled up. The fish that are on the bank, that are on a stump or something like that, they're really not interested right now. I throw at some of them, they won't even follow you or nothing. So what I've tried to do now is I've pulled back. I'm not too far from the bank. GoPro for you. I'm probably 50 feet from the bank, 40 to 50 feet. I'm in 8 foot of water. Got my live scope really cranked, guys, with sensitivity and the color gains like on 90 to get through the pollen. Y'all can see the pollen on the water. Well, that affects your picture too. And I've heard a lot of people complain about, what's wrong with my picture all of a sudden here and there. I heard somebody talking about that the other day. A lot of it's the pollen. Garmin Guru, check him out. I am not a live scope expert. People have asked me about my settings. I change mine all the time. There's no set settings. I change it to suit me. Maybe every trip. And I'm sitting here hitting my distance out and distance in, just looking for fish. So that changes the size of your fish and stuff too. But I got a 1/16 on this Chaos 2, the shiner, the swim baits. You get more tail action, guys, if you use a 1/16 head, okay? If you use a 1/32, you go drag it, you're like, well, that head is not swimming very hard. No, it doesn't swim good on a 1/32. You need that keel weight in the front. It's the water flow across the bait, it comes back across the bait, that makes the tail move, right? If you think about it, that's what makes the tail kick. So the more weight you have on it, the better it does. And you need to move it just a little bit. If you got a heavy weight, you don't have to reel it fast. I was not reeling it fast that time. I was reeling it slow. But I'm just throwing at marks. I didn't know if they was crappy or not. I'm catching white perch. I've caught ring perch. I think I might show you the ring perch. Okay, it was really pretty. Like there's a mark right there. I keep on wiping the pollen off at 40 feet. So that's what I'm doing. I'm finding that mark and I'm just throwing that like that, letting it go because they're on the bottom. I haven't seen any fish suspended in the water column. Right now, they seem to be running the bottom. Those two, there was 2 running the bottom there. I caught that last one. And that's what I done. I threw it like that, and I just started reeling. Reeling slow. That's what I'm doing. Just throwing at marks and reeling them back slow. And that's why the Chaos works good for that, because you can cover a lot of water. I seen some guys trolling yesterday. I was fishing from I said this earlier, I was fishing on the bank yesterday in our subdivision. and I walked out on we have a dock, and I was thrown back toward the bank, and I fished from the bank on the other side. I was just walking around fishing on the dock and the bank, and there was a boat, and I watched him. He was trolling, and I seen him catch fish, reel in, catch fish, throw it back, and they was good ways from me. They was probably here the other side of the lake from me, and I heard them talking, but they were catching fish and they were trolling. So I don't know if they was flatlining them. It looked like they was using maybe a 1/16 ounce jig head or something like that. Didn't look like a crankbait, but like I said, when I see them swing the fish in, they took it off too fast for a crankbait. Swing it in, you can see them take it off and throw it back. Crankbait, most of the time you gotta get a pair of pliers sometimes, don't you? Especially if they get all 3 hooks in their mouth or 2 of them. Baby. All right, guys, I'm moving around. Like I said, I moved to another cove. I actually came back into Poplar Creek I live on, because the wind got up so bad. Knew it was gonna get windy today. It's from about 10 o'clock on, and it has. And he's about 9.5. This is the new color I was showing you. So I'm telling you about. I'm starting about catching them on the new color. That's it. It's the ice color with the chartreuse tail. Now I have it in the grub, hot tail grubs. I have it with the chartreuse tail, the ice color. It's called Ice Plus. So I thought, let's shoot it in the LC Shad and see what happens. Y'all can see the trees shaking. I'm fighting everything, Dave. Don't have a decent picture at times. The crappie are on the bottom. I've seen those 2 moving across the bottom. It's like 2 of them. So they're hard to spot, even for live scope. And I'm just casting to the bank a lot. If I don't see them, I'm just casting to the bank a lot and reel them back. And that's not real productive, because you would sit here and go like, oh, there's got to be crappie on all this. No, it's not, guys. I know crappie spawn here. I've caught them before. There's a beaver hut right there. That beaver hut's probably got some up in it, you know, spawning. They spawn. This is the brown in front of you is willow grass, and there's some scattered lily pads in it. Those, I've caught them right off the front of that before. They're spawned in front of that. But the ones that seem to be up trying to spawn are not interested. So what I said earlier, what I'm looking for and what I'm searching for is ones that have spawned or have complete spawning the females. That's basically what I'm looking for. And I'm not seeing many, because I've caught that one good one. And everything else I've caught, I think, has been males. Seen a couple at the last place I was at. Not all of them are interested. Some of them, when the bait gets close to them, and if you can see the bait that's close to them, it's hard to do in this wind. They'll stick their nose up at it and go on. So you got to catch one in the mood that's even interested in biting you. During this spawn can be a tough time. Once the spawn finishes, and they're finishing up, you'll find them on the bank like that sometimes. And I've been out before and catch 20 or 30 just off the bank. Cast to the bank with a shiner, a Chaos 2, or a grub. Just holding on. That's what I'm looking for. Guys, I've covered a lot of water. I'm in a different cove. Actually, I'm on the creek I live on. I'm heading back in. And I went into a pocket just now that had a bunch of trees laid down, and I've cut them off those laid down trees. There was a few there on the tree. They wouldn't, oh my goodness, what a pig. They would not pay any attention to anything. And so I just left them. I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. You got to find one that's interested. So I didn't even see this fish on the live scope. I just came in here, wasn't even looking for it in the live scope. It's an old beaver hut there, it's about gone. I just came in here and made a circle and just casting, just fan casting. I've been doing a lot of that. I've caught white perch, I've caught bass. The crappie are so scattered that it's hard to come by. During the spawn, it can be that way. They'll start gathering back up here shortly. That's a pig. Great day. Okay, this is on the Ice Plus. I have these on the site. It's an ice color with the chartreuse tail grub. Notice I had a weedless head. That's because I've been throwing around these beaver huts and stuff. And that's why I went to the weedless head. The last one I caught was 112. This one's 110. Now this is in ounces, guys. This scale is. This one's 110. Now tell me he doesn't look bigger than that. He looks bigger than the first crappie I caught. I figured he'd be about at least 114, 115. There's nothing wrong with that one. That's a long fish. So yeah, I tried to carry my bumper board. Y'all see why? Y'all see why I carry that little tape line? This is not as easy. There you go. 14 3/4. That's a good fish. Bam. There's a baby one. Okay guys, see, I'm seeing some of this size. A lot of them I throw at, some of them I don't. Like I said, I've been looking for bigger fish, and they're very hard to find. Very hard to find today. And the last one I caught, like I said, I didn't even see. He's hooked really good. He's probably 9 1/4. But they were 3 or 4 together. See, they're probably non-sponders. See there? A couple they're hanging together right there. That's where they come from. Figured they were crappie, but finding the bigger crappie today is very tough. So what do you do after the spawn? This is what you do. This is what where I've caught the bigger fish. Is I come into a pocket like this off the main channel is what I'm doing right now, and looking for cover, and then getting out to 8 to 10 foot and casting at anything I see, any movement. I'm just constantly casting. If I see something on the live scope that looks okay, I cast at it. A lot of them are bass sometimes. It depends on how they're facing. You get them, see them when they move off, you say, oh, that's a bass. You see his tail. But, you know, when I see them at 35, 40 feet, 45 feet, I just cast. I've made a lot of casts today. Caught a lot of white perch. caught some bass. And I've caught 2 nice crappie. All right, guys. And I've got to go somewhere this evening. So I've got to go in here in a minute. So I'm going to cut this short. Post-spawn can be very tough until they start schooling back up, until some of these females leave the banks. The small males are easier to find, but the big females get hard to find. But after they spawn, get over that, move back out, they'll start setting up on brush piles, into trees, boathouses, then the game's back on. See y'all.